All right, welcome back to We Call Bank. This is episode 8 of the podcast. Now, we did miss one last week. I was going to do a solo episode, and I kept kind of procrastinating it, and I ended up not doing it. But we're back, with a duo. So first, we're going to talk about Madden ratings, and we're going to move on to, the running backs, saying that they're all getting underpaid. And I already talked about this in some of the previous weeks, and I agree. With a lot of them, Dhop to the Titans. And then we're going to do a kind of an over-under trivia challenge. And then we'll move on to some NBA stuff, and I'll talk about the topics when we get there. But, starting off with Madden ratings, we're going to go to the quarterbacks. Now, if you haven't seen these lists, I'll go through the top 10, maybe top 20, because you guys might not hear your favorite quarterback on there. So starting it off, Patrick Mahomes, the 99 overall. I mean, that's expected. I think he's had a 99 in the last 3 Maddens. So, got something in my throat. But, so that's expected for him to be number 1. Number 2 surprised me a little bit. Joe Burrow coming in at a 95 overall. Bengals fans are probably happy, but, I mean, how are you going to have Josh Allen on the cover and then put Joe Burrow over Josh Allen? That's kind of wild to me. Now, Burrow does only have 87 throw power, which I think is a little bit disrespectful. I think he's got more of an arm than 87, but, I mean, I'm not going to use him, so it ain't got nothing to do with me. Josh Allen comes at a 94. So what do you think about those top 3?
Patrick Mahomes rated perfectly because, you have to give him 99 after that season. Joe Burrow above Josh Allen, I don't know about it. That's crazy to me. It's like Madden's basically just saying he's better than Josh Allen, and I don't know. I mean, I saw the Netflix documentary with Patrick Mahomes saying that. So I saw the thing where he was saying Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen, and all this other stuff. I don't know what games y'all be watching or what y'all are even comprehending, but I feel like Josh Allen is just a little bit better than Joe Burrow. But that's how I feel about the top 3. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think switch them around, give Allen a 95, give Burrow a 94, and I would be a little bit more okay with that. But moving on, Lamar Jackson at 4 out of 91. I like it. I think I actually had Lamar ranked my 4th best quarterback on the list that we did. It was either 4 or 5. So I think he belongs there, better than Jalen, like I said. Jalen comes in at 88. I had him a little bit lower on my list. I had a couple guys over him, but I can respect it. Made it to the bowl. It makes sense that his ratings, and obviously these ratings don't mean that, these players are better than other players. I mean, okay, this dude might have more speed, and that's why he's a higher overall, but, the accuracy and stats and stuff like that probably are better on the other quarterback. So quarterback-wise, some of these quarterbacks are probably better, but just the athleticism might be boosting some of the other quarterbacks. So got to keep that in mind. Other than that, Dak comes in below Jalen Hurts at an 87. This surprised me a little bit. I'm kind of high on Dak. I like Dak. We talked about that in the previous episode, but I didn't expect him to be over Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers for that matter. But I'm glad he's, Madden's giving him a little bit of respect. Maybe it's because he's on the Cowboys and, they love Cowboy players. So, Justin Herbert at 7. I think this is 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Justin Herbert at 7 with an 87 overall. So same as Dak. I would have put Herbert over Dak, but they're the same overall, so I can live with that. So what do you think about those 4 so far?
My biggest thing is Jalen. There's no way on God's green earth you put Jalen at an 88 after. Because the thing is I understand what Joey talks about whenever he was doing his list about consistency and, prove like, oh, that was 1 year. But that ain't what Madden's about.
Yeah, Madden's based off of the last year.
Yeah, it's based off specifically the last year. And Jalen Hurts last year, he made it to the Super Bowl. I understand, he was in a whole different conference and not playing the Bills and not playing, the Bengals and stuff like that. But at the same time, bro, he beat the people that beat those people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, he didn't beat the Chiefs. My bad. I didn't mean to say beat the people that beat those people, but he got up to that level. And I don't know. He was probably last season. He was probably the 2nd or 3rd best quarterback last season. So just to put him at an 88, like some of these ratings are just a little low. And I understand, you can't give everybody a 95 and above, but it's just 88 for Jalen for last season. You can't do that. Now, I mean, I understand where he gets some hate. He had one good season, but
Wait, I want to see what they gave his throw power.
Hold on.
Because I know in the previous years he had like an 86, and it was like unbearable to play with. Okay, he still has an 86. So if you're starting a franchise and you're trying to play a CFM with Jalen Hurts, it's just not worth it, my boy. I mean, that throw power is just criminal. And a lot of these players that have like 85, 86, like I don't think their arm is that bad. That I don't know. That's just me. But we'll kind of speed through the list a little bit more here. We got Aaron coming in at 86, Kirk Cousins over Tua at 84, Tua with an 83. And then we got Trevor Lawrence with an 82, Geno 81, Jared Goff 80, Kyler Murray 78, Derek Carr 78, Deshaun Watson 78. Notable mention, Justin Fields with a 75. Didn't really move up that much from last year. I think he had a 75 at the start of Madden last year, so I think that's a little disrespectful for him to still be at a 76, in my opinion. I feel like he's more in the 80 range, but you can't give everybody 80, so I kind of understand. Murray being at a 79, I think that's kind of what he was last year at the start of the Madden, and he was hurt pretty much throughout the whole year, so I can see him not moving that much. His speed's looking nice, though, so that's always fun to see. Jared Goff at an 80, I feel like that's accurate. Geno with an 81, I feel like that's accurate. Trevor Lawrence, 82, I can live with that. He's probably still a superstar dev, I would assume. Maybe he's only star, but that's a solid overall for him. What do you think?
Who? I was looking up the
Trevor
ratings.
Lawrence being 82.
Like I said, if we're going compared to last season, just a little bit higher, I could get him a good 86, 87 for last season. Maybe a little bit higher than that. Maybe 88 or 89. I mean, he played pretty daggum good. Now, he wasn't no scrubby
good, yeah.
And like I said, I think these ratings are just a little too low on a lot of the quarterbacks. Like on Kyler, I understand he was hurt. And you know what I mean? Like 78 though? Like, what can't Kyler do? You know what I mean? Like what can't he do? I have no idea. I've never seen him not do anything that's possible. He can do everything. So
Not that he can't do it, he just needs to do it.
Yeah, I guess you got a point. He does need to step up a little bit.
But I mean, out of all these players, I mean, obviously he has the worst team,
especially
the worst
now.
O-lines, the worst weapon. I mean, he's got some weapons, but not consistent weapons. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's going to struggle a little bit because, he doesn't have the players that, a lot of these other quarterbacks have. So
yeah, he ain't got no star. His best receiving person right now is Marquise Brown. His tight end is Zach Ertz, which, they have that rookie that came in. I'm trying to remember his name. What dang. The rookie tight end that came in.
He's white. That's all I know.
Yeah, he's a pretty good tight end. I see him being star-studded top 10 later on in his future. But that's literally his two best. I think AJ's gone. Who else? Dhop left. Andy Isabella.
You got Rondell Moore, Andy Isabella.
Oh, yeah, you got Rondell Moore, but I think
Brown.
he got injured at one point. Andy Isabella, I think, is still on the team, or he might have went to a different team. I don't know. All I know is his team's just flooding down right now, and the Cardinals are just dying. Like everybody that was a star is literally just gone, except James Conner. Buddha's still trying to leave. I have no idea what the team's going to do. But I didn't mean to bring this about the Cardinals. We can continue about the ratings.
All right, so we're going to go to cornerbacks. We did quarterbacks, we'll do cornerbacks, and then we'll probably do running backs and maybe edge rushers, and then we'll move on. Don't want to touch on they're going to say I'm hating. I'm not looking at the O-linemen and stuff, but we're touching the skill positions right now. All right, so cornerback coming in at number 1, we got Jalen Ramsey with a 97. Jair Alexander at 2 with a 95. Patrick Surtain. I can't remember if it's Surtain or Surtain. I think it's Surtain. Patrick Surtain the second with a 94, and Marlon Humphrey with a 93. That's my boy right there. Sauce at a 93 is ridiculous. But Darius Slay, 92. Stephon Gilmore, still a 91. I don't really know how well he played last season. Like, I know he was on the Colts for half the year, and I think he got traded to the Cowboys. Or maybe that happened before the season, but you didn't really hear much about him. So I'm surprised he's still that high. Marshawn Lattimore, 90. Tre'Davious White and Denzel Ward, 90 and 88. I don't think I might have had Tre'Davious on my list. I can't remember. But I feel like I didn't have Ward, and that I probably should have had him on there. AJ Terrell, 87. Charvarius Ward, 87. Kendall Fuller, 87. Trevon Diggs, 87. A lot of people are mad about that. Jacoby Woozy, 85. Jamel Dean, 85. Bradbury, 85. Patrick Peterson, 85. A little surprising to me. Tyson Campbell, 85. Kenny Moore, 84. So that's your top 20. So I'm just go ahead and shout out my boy AJ Terrell, coming in at 11. I like that spot. I think that's where he belongs, above Trayvon Diggs. Don't at me. All right. But the top three, so we got, like I said, Ramsey, Alexander, Surtain. Surtain obviously had a really good season. The season before that wasn't the greatest, but he had a really good season last year. So if we're going off of last year, 94, I feel like it's kind of surprising to me because I feel like that's a little high. I feel like they wouldn't give a player that, just had – I mean, we see they only gave Jalen 88, so giving Patrick a 94, I feel like it's – stretching a little bit, but I'm fine with 1 and 2. I do think they're interchangeable. I would rather have Alexander over Ramsey, in my opinion, but Ramsey is definitely the more physical of the two. Like I said, Surtain at 3, I can live with that. Humphrey at 4, I really like that. I think he deserves to be up there, but just going on talking about Sauce for a minute. Anyway, so Sauce at a 93. Okay, so we have a lot of people that are happy with it. We have a lot of people that aren't happy with it. But the crazy thing is, Sauce, you're giving him a 93, and Tariq Woolen is like an 80. And they didn't have too crazy of a different season. Like Tariq Woolen had more interceptions, I want to say. I think Sauce gave up less yards and stuff like that. But theoretically speaking, they both had really good seasons, and it was kind of I wouldn't say a toss-up at the end for who was going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Woolen got a lot of votes too. So the fact that you're giving Sauce a 93 and Tariq is only like an 80, low 80, is kind of crazy. I think I don't think Tariq should be like at 83, 84, and I feel like Sauce should be like a high 80. I don't think he should crack the 90s yet, just because it was one season. But I mean, if we're going off this season, then Tariq should be higher and leave Sauce there. But I mean, there was a lot of beef going on. I don't know if you saw the Sauce stuff with Asante Samuel. They were going at it, and people were trying to compare Sauce to Darrelle Revis, and then Asante Samuel was saying that, what are y'all talking about? Darrelle Revis wasn't even good, and there was just a lot of stuff going on Twitter. I don't know if y'all saw it, but Asante Samuel, like the two-time Super Bowl winner. I don't know how many Pro Bowls he went to. Might have had 3 Super Bowls. I don't know. Anyway, him and Sauce were going at it, and Asante Samuel was saying it's crazy what the New York media will do to your career, saying that they just hyped him up so much and he's getting all this love when he doesn't deserve it, when he's not actually at that level yet. And it was just crazy. And I'm like, dude, your son is in the league right now, and talking like this, you're just painting a target on your son's back. What are you doing, man? But I don't. Like I said, I don't really hate this list. I think it's a good list. I don't really, besides Sauce, I don't really have any quarrel with it. I think is, buzzword in there. I don't know. I think that's what it means. Like, you don't have any problems with it. But you got anything to say about the cornerback list?
I mess with Jalen. I'm glad he's number 1, but like you said, I put Alexander number 1 above him just because he's that dude. I'm trying to remember who I was on the list, bro. I ain't gonna cut to you. I've been a little foggy.
What you mean? I've been talking to him. He ain't listening?
No, I'm listening to you. I'm just, bro, I'm just tired. And so, you said Sauce was number 4 on the list, right? Marlon Humphrey was 3.
Ramsey, Alexander, Patrick Surtain, Marlon Humphrey, Sauce, Darius Slay, Gilmore, Lattimore,
what's crazy?
Denzel Ward.
is I think actually, if we go back, that whole number 5 is all 1 through 5. I think that's literally my list. Except, I think I had, Humphrey at like 4.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I think that was my 5. But yeah. So obviously, I'm cool with 1 through 5 because that's how I had it. I'm trying to see. And then who was after that? Stephon, Marshawn, Tre'Davious White. I mean, honestly, if it was me, I'd put Tre'Davious above Lattimore. But other than that, yeah, I kind of like it.
I mean, I value a man corner more than a zone corner. Because I just feel like, obviously, I just feel like it's harder to run man than zone. So, like Terrell's more of a zone corner. So, I can see, the players that are good at both are going to be higher. So, but Falcons don't run a lot of man anyway. But they're probably going to this year. But moving on from cornerbacks, we're going to go. We'll do left defensive end, left outside linebacker, right defensive end, and right outside linebacker. We'll put defensive tackles on here. That way we can see those as well.
Wait, so how many were we doing?
Left end, right end, left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, because those are rushers usually, and defensive tackle. So
and then defensive tackle. Are we doing running back?
Yeah, we're gonna do that after. All right. So Aaron Donald coming in at 99. Nobody got anything to say about that. He deserves to be a 99. Myles Garrett 98.
Yeah,
those are
best.
top 2. So I have no problems with that at all. Nick Bosa, defensive player of the year, comes in at a 98. Got no problems with that. 97, Micah Parsons. Man, that dude is.
I put him at 98.
He's going to be ridiculous in the game. 95, finesse move, 89 power move, 74 block shed. I mean, you can use him if you want to. He's actually a right end now, so he's not at the linebacker position. I know in the offseason he said he was, putting on like 20 pounds to play end. So, going to be interesting to see if he gets more sacks now that he's, not going to have to worry about, playing coverage. He's just going to be rushing the quarterback the whole time. Chris Jones coming in under him, 96. One of the best defensive tackles in the league. Got no problems with that. Dexter Lawrence at a 94 from the Giants. That's, a little bit surprising, but he had a good season, so, it's time that he gets some of his credit. He's always been, I think like mid-80s in Madden, but I think he's rather older. I want to say he's, maybe I'm thinking of someone else the Giants used to have, but I think Dexter Lawrence is getting a little old. Max Crosby coming in at 94. I think he's top 5 rushers on the edge. He's been very consistent the last couple 2-3 years. So I think he deserves to be there. T.J. Watt coming in under him, 94. Miller a 94. I remember before he went to the Bills, when he was kind of like on the later years of the Broncos, he was going down in overall. So the fact that he's a 94, okay, that's respectable. He signed a big contract. I don't think he's going to finish it because I think he's got 4 years left. So I see him like playing this year and then maybe retiring. Could be wrong. Cam Hayward coming in at 93. Respected. Quinnen Williams, 93. Jets. Jonathan Allen, 92. Bosa, 91. DeMarcus Lawrence, 90. They just love him, man. He's been a 90 for as long as I can remember playing the game. I feel like Hassan Reddick, 90. Jeffrey Simmons, 89. Matthew Judon, 89. Matt Milano, 88. Rashawn Gary, 88. Vita Vea, 88. I really don't have any problems with the list. To be honest with you.
So I just looked at straight right ends. Von Miller. All right, so obviously to Micah Parsons, all the way to Micah Parsons, which I think is like the top 4 or something like that. I ain't got a problem with. Then we get to the Von Miller case. Von Miller, it ain't even nothing about his skill. Like he's good and he's been good. He's he's that dog. But yeah, I just don't like him because clearly he's ring chasing. I mean, why would you go to the Bills? You are already
listen.
You are already.
He's been at the Broncos for so long.
I don't care, bro. Why are you ring chasing? You already done it, bro. You already done it. But if you go,
it's okay for Paul George and ring chase.
Whoa.
But it's not okay for
PG
Von.
did ring chase.
It's not okay for Von
PG
Miller
did
to
ring
ring chase.
He wasn't getting what he wanted at
Miller
Indiana.
Broncos were like rebuilding, and Miller just left. I mean, he's been there his whole career.
We're gonna be talking a lot about ring chasing with topic number 3, but you didn't get to him. But Trey Hendrickson is at 87 overall. I'm sorry.
I think that's fair.
No, I'm putting him up at least 89. At least 89.
I mean, 2 spots. Okay, yeah.
Grady Jarrett, that's your boy.
That's my boy.
And
I
you
like
would put him at 86?
I like where he's at. I think,
you wouldn't put him at 88?
I mean, I think he could be. I think he could be higher, but I don't hate an 86. I mean, he's the only good one on that D line. Mm-hmm. Now we actually have some talent coming in there to help him, but it's kind of hard to put up numbers when you're the only one they're worried about. So, I think if we're going off stats, 86 is where he deserves to be off of stats, but I think he's more impactful than an 86. But
yeah, I'm just looking at the Cameron Jordan should be up a little bit. I'm trying to see who I really think should be up, because I don't care if they should go down. They ain't got nothing to do with me unless it's crazy. Chase Young got an 85. I don't really remember his stats from last season, if I'm gonna be completely
he didn't
honest.
play very well.
Yeah, I don't really remember his stat. I remember the season before last season he played darn good. But yeah, I don't really remember his stats, so I can't say nothing about that one. But yeah, we can keep going.
All right, we're gonna move on to running backs. Yeah, Chase Young. Everybody expected him to just be really, really dominant, and he kind of hasn't really broke out. Like, he had a good rookie season for a rookie, but after that, he hasn't really shown a whole lot. So yeah, moving on to running backs, we'll go just through the top 10. Nick Chubb, 97. Christian McCaffrey, 96. Josh Jacobs, 95. Derrick Henry, 94. Saquon Barkley, 93. Austin Eckler, 89. Jonathan Taylor, 89. Aaron Jones, 88. Tony Pollard, 88. And Joe Mixon, 87. All pretty fair. I like Chubb at 1. I'm not going to complain about that, Georgia boy. Christian McCaffrey at 96. Madden loves him. They've loved him since he came in the league. I mean, he's been a 99 I don't know how many times so far, but it just seems like they never want to drop his overall. I remember like the last 2 years before this year's, he barely played any games, and he was still coming in at 99 overalls in the Maddens. Like, they really like him. Josh Jacobs, I mean, ran for like 2,000 yards, I want to say. So 95 overall, deservingly. Derrick Henry at 94. I like that. Saquon 93. I'm pretty fine with this list. What do you think?
Nick Chubb 1, good. Christian McCaffrey 2, only because he went to San Fran. Josh Jacobs 3. I mean, he did have a heck of a season, which he's never been bad. But he did have a heck of a season. I don't know if I'd put him over Derrick Henry. You know, Derrick Henry a dog. Saquon, I think he was like 5. Eckler 6. Jonathan Taylor 7. Aaron Jones. Tony Pollard. Okay, just like I'm saying, as far as, which I understand what Joey's talking about, as far as like some attributes could just be affected and makes it go up higher, and they're not really trying to say this person is better than this person.
Like, you can have a well-rounded running back that's decent at juking and decent at being a power back, and they're going to have, like, say, 85 juke and 85 trucking, but they're not going to be higher than the guy that has 95 juke and 70 trucking, just because that guy's so much better at, you know, that certain attribute. So the other guy can be more well-rounded, and you might want him more, but, like, you know, the person is going to be better at one specific area of their, you know, of a running back is going to be higher.
So, yeah, like I was saying, you kind of just, even though it's exactly like what Joey's talking about, it's hard not to say Madden's saying this player is better. And I ain't going to complain about as far as the list and who's over who, except for the Derrick Henry situation.
Yeah.
But I just, as far as the ratings themselves, Tony Pollard at an 88 is insane to me. And it sucks that he had Zeke for so long, because it's like Tony Pollard, if he just didn't have Zeke in his way, he would have broke out, and which I feel like he's still going to break out. And I feel like
I think 88 is where he should be.
Yeah, but I feel like he would have been even better. I feel like he would have been up to that. Whoa, hold up. Let me look at number 2.
What do you mean?
Oh my God. Well, I was looking at it because I was like, well, obviously Kamara, blah, blah, blah. Because I was thinking about like our top 5 or 10 or whatever running back list that we made a long time ago. And I was like, we didn't even mention Kamara. But I was just talking about as far as like just a running back, not even their season, just a running back.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm looking for Dalvin Cook. Oh, I guess you got what? I didn't even think about it. James Conner at a 77. Why? Why, Sway? Why?
Who's going to tell him?
What is wrong with James Conner?
We're going to tell him he's not that guy.
No, wait, I was looking at Khalil Herbert. Well, James Conner's still a 77. What? His strength's only an 81. He's a dog. How is his strength only an 81, bro? His speed's an 87. I'm sorry, but he is a little bit faster than an 87.
I'm pretty sure Dalvin is the tweet that they posted out, he was in the 11 to 20 range. I think he was like number 11.
Oh, okay.
But I think since he's not on a team, it's like not on here right now.
I guess that makes sense.
But
yeah, I ain't got too many problems with the ratings. I think they just. I understand you can't give everybody high ratings, but I think Madden kind of just threw out a little bit too low of ratings to certain players. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. So kind of staying on running back topics here. We got running backs kind of banding together for them being underpaid. Now, Derrick Henry's not underpaid. Nick Chubb not underpaid. So, there's a couple running backs that are getting their money and they deserve it. But there's also a lot like Saquon, Austin Eckler, who are key pieces to the team that deserve the money. And what I was talking about on one of Dallas's posts is there's a difference when you're a majority passing offense and you only go to the running back on third down or for a yard or two, or you're not really, you're just using the run to set up the pass. You're not really trying to win with the run, if that makes sense. So, but teams like the Giants, they played so well because they had Saquon. You look at the year before where Saquon was injured and they didn't make the playoffs. They didn't play good. So with Saquon on the team, they made the playoffs. They made a run. They made a little bit of run, and they were competitive because they had Saquon. So teams like that, they need him. If they let him go, that's a mistake. They're just going in the wrong direction, in my opinion. Same thing with Eckler. Chargers receivers are in and out, can't stay healthy. Eckler did it on the ground and through the air, so I just don't see getting rid of your key weapon. I mean, he literally, in my opinion, is their number one weapon on offense. So getting rid of him, I think, is just a mistake. I think you can say all you want about, you don't need, a great running back to win football games. You can just use all these, second string running backs, but it's just not the case. Those guys are going to win you games. Those guys are going to fight for extra yards. Like, you're just not going to get the same impact. And I don't know. In my opinion, they deserve to be paid. I do think a lot of them are underpaid. And like I was commenting on his, there's a difference in being overpaid, underpaid, and, where you should be. Now, it came out that, Saquon's not asking for the max. He's not, but he don't want the minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, give him what he deserves. He can play on a franchise tag for like 19 mil. And he's not going to take 17 mil for the first year when he can literally just play under the tag and make more. It makes no sense. So, give the first deal, make it like it's the franchise tag money, and then you can lower it down from there. Like, it's just, you need him. It's a mistake if you let him go. And with them signing James Robinson, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe he's gone. I think it came out that he dropped Giants out of like his bios and stuff. So it'd be interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, here's my thing, is when you have teams like those that obviously have the cap space for them, and they're literally just like, oh yeah, we're not gonna pay them. Like, for instance, I think Taylor, he went into a meeting with them and they were like $1 to $2 million off of making a deal, and it's like, bro, y'all couldn't just. You know what I mean? Y'all couldn't just throw that extra mil. Like, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Like, just throw that extra mil. And it's just like, I understand why people don't pay running backs like that, just because, you have to be scary because those are the most, like, those positions are the most, like, unpredictable as far as injuries, as far as your downfall. Like, it's hard to see a running back be good for 3 years straight. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of running backs do, or there are some running backs that are, but it's hard for, there's running backs that have one good year and then they're just like, what happened to that person? And it's just like, I understand why teams want to do that, and it's smart from a business decision, but at the same time, when that is your star player, like, that's the best person on your team, like, for the Giants, that's the best person on their team. That's just their best person. For the Chargers, I would say it's about even, you know what I mean? Kind of, but I don't know. I just feel like y'all should just go ahead and pay the money. Y'all are a franchise. Y'all don't want to be known as a franchise that doesn't want to pay their star players, because then people aren't going to want to come to you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you're saying, I think Eckler, like Herbert is their best player, obviously, but Eckler is their number one weapon on offense, in my opinion. But moving on, D-Hop to the Titans. If you wanted to win a ring, that's just not where you want to go. To be honest, they just don't know how to win. They know how to make it to the playoffs, but they don't know how to win. I mean, he saw Julio go there, and obviously Julio was, more beat up than D-Hop was when he went to the Titans. So, that's part of it. But Tannehill's a good system quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He can make the right read. He's not going to do anything flashy. He'll hand it off to Derek 9 times out of 10. So, I mean, if he doesn't want to do a lot, I guess go to the Titans and let Derek run the ball 40 times a game. So maybe that's what his plan is. But like I said, if he wants to win a ring, I just don't see Tennessee being the place to go to win a ring. So I guess he just kind of wanted money.
Bro, I hate you, DeAndre Hopkins. I just had to say that, bro. I was
jeez, man.
Oh, I don't hate you. I don't hate you. Oh, I don't hate you. I
despise you.
I'm trying to think of a proactive
I dislike
word.
you right now.
I am not a favorite fan of yours, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, if you want to come on the podcast, let me know.
Yeah, if you want to come to the podcast, we can straighten it out. But it's just like, you see what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I understand, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't want to be on the Cardinals. I could understand why you wouldn't, especially. I think you actually said something like, you didn't want to be with them during the season, like at some point late in the season, which they were a losing team anyways. But it's like that team, theoretically, if Kyler could have just stayed in, no receivers at all got hurt, everybody would have just stayed perfectly fine.
We'll just
I mean, we could finish it. I'm just saying they're just distracted.
They really ain't NBA. They really ain't much.
Well, anyways, so D-Hop, it's just like, it's a losing team. But if you would have looked at that team on paper before anybody got injured, D-Hop not having his 6 games missing at the start of the season, bro, that team looked like it was beyond a playoff team. Like, going into, like, semis and everything. Like, that was a good team. Everybody on there was, you would think that's a playoff team, beyond.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what I mean? Things happen. And it was one horrible season, and now he wants to leave, but then he wants to go to the Titans? The Titans? I mean, we heard something about Derrick Henry thinking of leaving before this trade. So it's just like, why are you going to the Titans? You said you wanted a great quarterback, good coaching, and a great defense. Well, let's see what the Titans have. Mid, and mid. All right, you went to a mid team. All right, the Cardinals would have paid you if you would have just, been happy. You were on Hard Knocks having the time of your life with the Cardinals. So you're telling me the whole time you were just putting a fake smile on? I don't know. That just kind of hurt my feelings because I bought a figure of yours and I was starting to become a fan. And you just
ripped his heart out, D-Hop.
You hurt my feelings a little bit because I was like, okay, D-Hop, like, the thing is I'm a huge Cardinals fan and I like a lot of people from the Cardinals. But I have, like, certain people that I'm like, oh, I like their game. Like, Tyreek was one whenever he was on the Chiefs. And it's like, I was putting you over Tyreek. And I know I should anyways because you're on the Cardinals. But still, you know what I mean? Tyreek is better than you. He is. Well, yeah, that ain't
now
mean.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, that ain't mean. But, yeah, that's just how I feel. I don't. It's, y'all aren't going to win like crazy, but. I mean, you're a decent addition to the team, so that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. Like I said, if you wanted to win a ring, that's really not where you wanted to go. Like, just take a pay cut and go to the Chiefs or something. Like, if you want to win, go to the Chiefs. You won't have to do much. Mahomes is gonna get you the ball exactly when you're open. Like, if you want to win, Chiefs, Bills, Eagles. I mean, just take a pay cut. Like, if I'm in that position and I've spent my money right and I've invested my money right, which I'm not in that position, so I can't talk like I'm in that position. But I mean, if you really love the game, to play the game, then and you want to win a ring, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, just take a pay cut, no matter how much it is. Like I said, if you manage your money well, where you're making money outside of football, then why not? Like, that just to me, that tells me he doesn't really care about winning a ring.
Heck no,
I could be wrong, but in my eyes, I just don't feel like the Titans they don't have the team. They're not a complete team. They got holes. So that's really all I got to say about that. Moving on to over-unders.
You want to go first with me?
Up to you.
How about I guess first?
You guess first?
You guess.
All right. So this is over-under. Once we start doing it, you'll understand the concept. So I'll kind of break it down with the first one. So first one I got on here, Patrick Mahomes, over-under, 5,000 yards. Do you think Patrick Mahomes had over or under 5,000 yards?
5,000 is a lot. Like, 5,000 is a lot, but MVP, Super Bowl, this is counting postseason?
No, this is just regular season.
Oh, regular season. It is 17 games, though. I say over.
That is correct. He had 5,250 yards.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy, man.
Sexy boy.
All right. Aaron Rodgers, over or under 4,000 yards?
I'm going to go. He ain't really have no receivers. I mean, he had mid receivers, so under.
That is correct. 3,695. Now, I think he's consistently hit 4,000, but he was injured for a couple games last year. So that's why I threw that one in there to see, like, okay, maybe Dallas would say 4,000 because it's Aaron Rodgers. Josh Jacobs, over or under 10 rushing touchdowns?
I want to say under, but
I'll tell you, I think the max this season was 13 or 14, I want to say.
I'm going to go over.
That is correct. He had 12. He had 12. Dalvin Cook, over or under 1,000 yards?
You know what? Crazy. Like, I know you're going to put stuff in here just to psych me out.
Yeah, I kind of.
So I'm gonna say under because, or dog. I don't know, dog. Under.
That is incorrect. 1,173. So 1,173. I threw that in there just to. I felt like he was going to go under on that one just because I threw it in there.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, over or under 1,200 receiving yards?
Over.
That is correct.
Yeah.
1,338.
Yeah, I mean that was Patty's favorite player.
Man, I'm finna get exposed right here.
So no, you ain't gonna get exposed. I got Kyler Murray. Remember, he wasn't injured for a lot of games, but he was injured for quite.
If I had to guess, I would say he had about 2,600 yards.
2,000 yards, over or under?
I think over.
2,368.
Yeah, I knew he was somewhere mid 2,000s.
Derrick Henry, that's passing yards. Derrick Henry, 1,200 yards, over or under?
He had way over. He had like 1,600, I think.
Yeah, over.
Maybe more.
1,538. Josh Allen, 4,300 yards, over or under?
Over.
Under. He had 40.
Close.
He was close though. He had 4,283. If he would have just got 17 more yards, he would have hit it.
I knew him and Mahomes were top two.
Tyreek Hill, 1,600 yards, over or under?
I think he had like 1,800, so I'm gonna go over.
Over 1,710.
Oh, okay.
And Jonathan Taylor yards, over or under 800? Remember?
Under.
No, he had 861.
Really? Rushing yards?
Yep. Well, it just says yards, but I'd have to assume.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, I did all right. I thought Jonathan Taylor was injured more, so I thought he had less than that. But I hope you guys did enjoy the episode. Like I said, it wasn't much NBA stuff to talk about, but we're gonna get on out of here. I hope you guys did enjoy the episode. I'll see you for episode 9 next week. Deuces.